What was the worst advice you have ever received? Not me, but I remember reading a thread about a man who told his girlfriend every day that she stinks. She washed 2 or 3 times daily, tried everything she could to get rid of this smell. Until she cracked and started screaming at him, asking WTF was he smelling. Apparently his father told him, tell a woman she smells every day and she'll be constantly clean. He just took that as normal good advice to live by. Invest in DVDs because you can pawn them for cash when you need money. Haha, actually what? My grandmother told me that if I wanted to stop being poor, I should find a job in logistics or warehousing. I was literally managing a warehouse at the time. Grandparents and boomers thinking the world is still the same as when they were our age. All you have to do is prove to the woman that you are better than the man she is with and she will come running. From a former manager who had 7 girlfriends, and a wife, who stabbed him when she learned about the girlfriends. All that I can think is 8 relationships? That sounds so exhausting. Lawyer said I should just admit that I did it. I denied it and the case was dismissed. Did you do it? Just ignore your bully. Okay, I did as you advised and they stabbed my hand with a pencil to get my attention. In my early 20s, my stepdad encouraged us equals me, sister and brother, to max out our credit cards. Then file bankruptcy. My sister did it. My brother did it. I didn't. He insulted me for years, for being stupid. My mom is exactly like this. She literally told me my first credit card was free money. Just max it out and declare bankruptcy. That bitch hit me up at 3 a.m. for 5K this morning. Some people never learn. Put some butter on it. My father to me directly after getting a 3rd-degree burn on my arm. Cooking accident. You put some butter on it, a little garlic and then mozzarella and you got a decent side. Was told by a sailor of 5 decades that the best way to get rid of a sunburn is to take the hottest shower possible. Not only did that cause immeasurable pain, but didn't help in the slightest. It's a cool, not cold shower. He had to have been trolling you. Good things come to those who wait. Not good things come to those who go out and take them. If you go work somewhere else, no one will pay you as much as me. My dad. I'm currently making twice as much plus benefits. Working with / for family can be a nightmare. I recently quit working for my dad and am already less anxious. From my father, don't go to the doctor's office if you only have one problem. Wait until you have 4 or 5, that's how you get the most bang for your buck. This is horrible advice, but as someone who went a very long time without medical insurance, I kind of get it. Replace all your office computers with Macs, then you don't need to set up network drives because you can use iCloud instead. Don't worry about industry-specific software we pay pound for. There will be something in the App Store you can replace it with. Wow. I am even a Mac user and I know this is bad advice. As a temporary measure, it's okay to insert a copper penny into a screw and fuse box circuit until replacement fuses can be obtained. That dangerous advice almost caused a house fire due to an overheating circuit. You should use a 22 bullet, that way you can hear when it pops. Don't take IT engineering cause it's saturated. Don't study computer science, all the programming will be done in India in 5 years. Literally everyone in my family in 2006. They pushed me hard for accounting, but I found a compromise in an IT degree, information systems. I found my way back to software development quickly though. It's not as bad now, but in 2010 you'd get your resume thrown in the trash at a lot of places if you applied to a programming job without a CS or engineering degree. If you run out of dishwasher detergent, just substitute it with regular dish soap. A big mistake that will only be made once, pouting face. It's almost good advice if you also need to mop your floor, but would rather shovel bubbles instead of actually mopping. Monica Lewinsky is the permanent winner of this question, emo. When it came up on Twitter a few years ago, she submitted a White House internship will look great on your resume. Go to college and get a degree, any degree. Doesn't matter what it is, they'll hire you with a bachelor's degree and no experience. If you don't have a college degree, you're going to be flipping burgers at McDonald's and living under a bridge for the rest of your life. And you are not going to a trade school. Trade schools are for stupid people. My parents, teachers, and guidance counselors in the 90s. Bro, I went to a tech/trade school for high school. It's weird. I won't lie, there was a lot of dumb people in the trades, but there were plenty of super bright people who just didn't like academic work, and that's fine. When I went to university I could choose between 2 major, engineering or language. Being an Asian kid, most of my family, friends, relatives and even teachers recommended engineering. Because it's a men's job, translator or interpreter are for girls. So I let myself be convinced and picked engineering, although I sucked at maths. Fast forward 8 years now, I'm a low-level worker at a manufacturing plant because I dropped out of uni not being able to keep up with the stress. The irony is that my main job now is to translate email and document for my boss who could barely speak English. At 24, while making $12 an hour and renting an apartment, my parents convinced me to buy a brand new Honda Accord. They assured me it was the only way to get a new car and that used ones broke down immediately. The payments were one entire paycheck of the two I got every month. Just get a degree. It doesn't matter which one. $40,000 and one unused degree later. Business 101 professor with multiple PhDs gave great advice: don't follow your passion. Get a degree that will get you the money to follow your passion. I love anthropology, and thanks to my degrees in physics and business I get to go all around the world on dig sites and explore. My husband needed a medical card after his heart failure from viral cardiomyopathy. The social worker told me I should get pregnant so we would qualify for help with his medical costs. I was 24 and lived in Ohio. I was horrified. She listed all the help we could get if I could get pregnant. He was in an ICU ward recovering from heart surgery. I walked out of there just disgusted. To bottle up my feelings and not go to therapy. Now, at 46, I'm finally going to therapy, dealing with the fact I may have lost my marriage, and struggling to deal with all the crap that I have bottled up my entire life. Go to fucking therapy, deal with the crap and feelings that you don't want to look at. It's worth it. You don't want to burn bridges. Fuck that. Some of those bridges need to be bombed so they are never able to be crossed again by either party. Needed to give my newborn baby some water. My mother don't give him sips of plain water, he won't like the taste. Give him cordial or plain old Ribena. Suddenly all the root canals and cavities I'd had made sense. Ignore the bullies. They just want a reaction. If you ignore them they'll get bored and leave you alone. This is my answer every time this question pops up. It is such unmitigated bullshit. The adults who gave me this advice, when I was a kid, in the 70s, must have had softer bullies than I did. Because yeah, my bullies wanted a reaction. And they'd keep going until they got one. Note, they considered tears of pain and blood a reaction, as they beat the crap out of me. Family over friends, because friends won't always be there for you, family will. Fat load of crap that was. A mobile home is a great first home for a young couple. I wish I had looked into it more. When my company imploded, I was stuck with a $1,000 mortgage payment and $1,100 monthly space rent. In the Los Angeles area. I got a job out of state. Could not sell the mobile home. Park residents were giving up their old paid-off homes just to get out of their leases, and the park was selling the houses for $500. That is an exact figure, so no one wanted a brand new house in the same park. I had to just give up the house to the bank. Bank eventually sold it for less than half of the loan balance. My credit recovered 7 to 10 years later. My dad pulled me aside and told me that your 10-year high school reunion is coming up. Your classmates are going to ask what you've been doing. You might want to think about what you're going to tell them. I wasn't planning on going to, and did not go to, my 10-year high school reunion. Why my dad was so concerned with the opinions of people I haven't seen in over a decade, I have no idea. Stop worrying. We have the ability to worry about things for a reason. If you stop, you'll get caught off guard real soon. I think better advice is stop worrying about things that are outside of your control or influence. But yeah, I get what you are saying.